old are you?
I am going to be 72 next month.
If you could go back to any age, which age would it be?
I really can't give you a particular age, but I can say that I'm much happier that I'm older. I'm dyslexic. I was bullied in school. We had those times where the teacher says, Mike, stand up and read. I stood up and I would read and I would stumble over every word and the class would laugh at me. And this started very young. And then in the schoolyard, I became the punching bag. Middle school, I was bullied by groups of kids. And then my uncle moved in with us. He was a professional fighter, just got out of prison. He was ranked 10th in the world in 1956. He recognized right away that I was being bullied, and he had me join the YMCA. They had a youth boxing program, and he trained me to fight. And it took a while because I still didn't want to fight. One day, some kids were picking on me, and I didn't fight back, and he heard about it, and he said, what's wrong? You know, I was in middle school. I said, I'm afraid. And he said, why would you be afraid? I said, well, they might beat me up. He laughed, actually, and he looked at me and said, Mike, they're already beating you up. When I went to high school, bullied by another group of kids, and I finally had enough, and I had one fight in school, and he was flailing, I was boxing, and it didn't take very long, but it didn't end well for him. And from then on, in high school, they left me alone. I went through that growing up, and interesting enough, being bullied, it scars you for life.
How does it feel at 72?
I'm retired from the Los Angeles Police Department, and my brother's retired. He's a year younger than I am. And when we talk, most of the subjects are about what doctors we're going to or what medication they're putting us on.
What has surprised you most about getting older?
Getting older, you start realizing the cost of health insurance. Not only is it very expensive, but it's very complicated. If you go into the doctor's office and they write down the wrong information, it populates in the system. So everywhere you go, that mistake follows you. And then at times you end up getting stuck with bills that you have to try to explain your way out of. I told my wife, Polly, and I said, I know I'm old, but what happens to people that are real old and don't understand the computers, don't understand how to get the Social Security to pay for this? She says they give up going to doctors, and that's sad because in my mind, they probably die prematurely, or they could have lived longer and a healthier life.
How do you define success, and has that definition changed over time?
Yes, it has changed. I think success is living a happy life, regardless if you're an executive at a company and you're driving a Mercedes-Benz or you're an air conditioning guy and driving a pickup truck. I think society, at least in America, measures success by how much money you have in the bank. And as I got older, I realized you can't take it with you.
What's your biggest mistake or regret in life?
I was told that I couldn't do certain things because of my learning disability. So I stayed on that path of not being able to write, had no idea what grammar's about, still can't understand a lot of it. But I've gone on to author 2 books. One of them is an award-winning book. But my biggest regret is listening to people tell me I couldn't.
What is the secret to happiness?
I think it's pretty obvious. Most people should know that it's not money. It's family, relationships, friendships. I've had a lot of friends I went to high school with and people that I know that are passing away. And you kind of look back and thought, I should have kept in contact with them more. Or my father passed away 15 years ago, and there were things I wish I would have said to him. So I think the happiness in life is doing that, communicating with people, telling them you love your family.
What do you believe is the key to a happy and fulfilling life?
Looking at things in a positive way. I've worked out my whole life, and I've learned at my age now that if I'm working out and someone's being rude and it starts to bother me, I just leave the gym. I can work out tomorrow.
Is anyone being rude to you here?
Not rude to me, but basically the way they work out, talking on the phone when they're not supposed to, on speakerphone, or putting weights in the wrong place. So instead of saying something, like there's a list of things you're supposed to do on the wall in this particular gym, or say, you know what, I forgot my glasses. Can you read that to me? And then they'll get the hint.
That's funny.